So how's everything right now in France? You
Oh,
guys are going lockdown again or not?
yes, lockdown again. And we started like what is today? Today it's Monday. We started like last Thursday. And yeah, we just locked down and everyone have to stay home, but everyone disagree, but it's like this. We people are tired about like staying home and being out of work, out of business, especially for artists. But it's like this. I don't know. We don't have solution, but I could see that people are going out and still living their life, and I think in a way this is the way you have to be.
But in France, I know that you guys have helps in general. I mean, when you're an artist, you have a certain status, and even when you don't work, you can have some money from the government. Right now, you guys still have some help during the lockdown, or not at all?
The point that like the situation, some people got help, but not all of them. The point is that when you're an artist, some have a special statute that we call intermittent in French. It means that you had work enough in with some structure who give you some real, like it was declared officially, and have enough hours of work to get some money from the government. But if you're in a period of time where you didn't work enough, I mean, officially, not as an artist, but get enough money from an employer, and they can extend your right of getting some extra money. But if you don't have those this statute, you don't get any money. So it means that a lot of artists now are just dying because they cannot teach no more. They don't get help from the government, and they don't have any job because everything get canceled. Regular people, some of them get help, but it's not all of them. They pretend that they're helping some people, but they don't get that much.
Okay, got it. I don't know if you had the same issues in France, but not only in the dance community, but also I saw for all the fitness instructors and those personal trainers. They were complaining a lot about some kind of teachers. They were taking advantage of the lockdown to teach online when they don't have really the knowledge for it, and they were trying to take profit of the situation to make a name for themselves, because they noticed that the online classes were working, so they were doing that for free. So I know that it was happening a lot in the fitness world, the dance community. I don't know if in France you guys had the same issues or not. I don't know.
Um, for the fitness community, I cannot talk, but I could imagine that a lot of people try to get advantage of the situation, teaching and for nothing, for not much. But for the dance, I really see like most of the time some good teacher teaching, some I don't know. It's in some ways, the first lockdown, it was some classes online from different teacher, and people were joining the class because they know the teacher, so they will pay
Right.
for this kind of teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Some way, some people who live in France and teaching have an opening class in all over the world. You know, some people who don't have much money can just get this class for 10 euro, so it's a new way to teach, but
Yeah. Right.
in the same way, you also have people taking advantage of that, trying to get some student. But this is the business, and I don't really know what to think about because I'm not really checking. I just go for the good people. So in a way, I can't really tell you.
Okay. Yeah, I really think that in the first lockdown, people were all over the place and everybody was trying something. They didn't know exactly how to do it. Uh, the structure to allow to make that in the right way didn't really exist yet. So yeah, uh, actually, I remember talking about it with Rada. Uh, she was also complaining about the same problem in Italy. Um so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was just curious about the situation in France because I didn't really notice anything or people complaining or I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Actually, it's a complicated situation because dance and art is about like a connection between peoples and not through a media. And the fact that people have to teach online first was an option to get some money and to survive, but in the other side, um, it was some get the feeling that it was killing the heart itself. So people are in between. They don't know if they have to still teach or not. Some do it to survive. Some don't want it to keep it that way because this is not the way it's supposed to involve or to develop. I don't know. So
Yeah, I get you. But the thing is, actually, my opinion is that in a long term, you're gonna start making the difference between the, let's say, the bad and the good teachers. Even if there is some people trying to take profit, at the end, we, even in reality, we always had this issue where you have
mm,
like teachers teaching for less money or doing shows for less money or doing any gigs for less money. But in the long term, actually, you can tell the difference, and the good stay and the bad, you just forget about it. So I just think it's a matter of time, and we need to find new solutions. Um, anyway, one of the main reasons I wanted to do this podcast with you, and I have to be honest about it, is because you were the first in Europe that I met that was totally dedicated to walking. Before that, the only information that I got, and I don't know if you remember that, it was in a Stiga Pop website.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember
What
Stiga
which
Pop
information?
about walking, about any style. He had actually, from what I remember, Stiga Pop had one of the most complete European websites when it comes to uh, dance in the hip hop community, and it was one of the few places where you could go and find the definitions of which style, of every style. I mean, and otherwise you had like none definition. It was or that option or not option, not an option at all. So I don't remember if it was the exact definition of on his website, but what I kept in mind after reading that, or the first information that I remember to have about locking, about walking, excuse me, it was that it was some kind of a female version of locking or
I heard
something
that a
like
lot.
that, and that was the first information that I have about walking. And then someone told me that what happened is that Shabadoo went to a gay club, and he started to make an exchange with the dancers over there. And because he had like a jazz background also, he started to move in a different way, but it was actually locking, but in a different way. And then he created something with that, and he was walking. That was the first information that I had about walking before I met you in LA in 2004. Then I met you. Then I saw you. You came to Switzerland for a week in Deva's place, and we practiced together. And it was the first time that I was in a, let's say, a walking practice in Europe. Before that, it was just in LA during the B-Boy Summit in 2004 with Lollipop and Brian Green. So
Oh, that was 2004. That was already, I don't even remember the date, but I know it was a long time.
yeah, it was
But
2004.
but how you say is that was a long time, and the definition that you had about like walking being a locking version, a female version of locking, it's what also I heard when I started. The point and the difference with now, like pretty much 20 years after, is that we didn't have much information, and also we were speaking English the same way. Like English was hard to understand for us because we were way younger, because it was not much communication. People were traveling less, so we have less exchange, verbal exchange about the language. We didn't have internet the way we have it now. We didn't have translator, so the information that we took. Everyone was giving his own feeling about the dance and about what he know about this dance. And like you, the first time that I heard about walking, people told me like it's a female version of of locking. So I was like, okay. And like you, the first video I saw about locking was the first one, really first one was Anna Lollipop Sanchez
Right.
on this. Actually, it was a tape that Storm gave me. You know
Okay.
that back in days we had those tape, and it was about a big girl. I started to dance like '99, and I wanted to see girls dance because that time, you
Oh,
know,
maybe it was the videotape of what's
it
her
was a
name?
b-boy event. It
A
was a
big
b-boy
big
event,
girl Rockefeller or something like that, or
something like that. Yeah, it was a big
and
girl event.
she was interviewing different people, and she did an interview with Lollipop, right?
Yes,
But
actually,
wait,
that video was
no, it was Annie Rockwell, the tape of Annie Rockwell, the big girl,
I don't even
whatever.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was Annie Rockwell.
it was big girl actually doing b-boying,
Yes,
and it was in between that video. I saw this woman, dressed up,
right,
and she was talking, but I was not understanding all
right,
she was saying that time. So she started to talk about locking. So I was like, okay, I know she's a locker, so I was watching it, and then she started to do some move. She started to work, and I was like,
right.
wow, that was crazy. I focused. I've been watching that tape a couple of times, not a couple, a lot of time, to try to understand what she was saying. Then I started to look for information. Then at first I went to see Storm who gave me the tape. I was like, what she's doing? Who is she? And that time Storm was Rock City Crew, so he was going back and forth to the US. So he had the information. So he told me about Waaking. And
All
then
right, okay.
I met Junior Almeida, and I was asking about walking. So he showed me some few moves, and I was just amazed. And everyone got like a few information, but not every. They were not focusing on
Particular
that
style.
yeah. So it was hard. So I went to London. I went to meet Patrick Allen.
Okay.
Was also you know uh, show me some moves. I met Skittle Rabbit also, who showed me a lot, where we
Right.
were like really jamming and practicing whacking. And I met like a lot of different people slowly. And this year, you know, when we met in LA, this is where I saw that Anna was giving a class. So I was like, that was a big trip. Like, I'm going to LA. I'm going to LA. I called my girl, Sandrine, saying like, okay, I bought my ticket. I'm going to LA. Do you want to go? And then she came a couple of days after, and this is where we met. We're in the same hotel. This is at the it was which B-Boy Summit.
Yeah, Be by Summit
Yeah,
2004. It was
and
crazy.
Fluky Luke was giving a class.
Yeah, I took
Uh,
Footloose class too.
Anna was giving a class. Who else? I was taking some
Everybody
locking class.
was giving class.
Yeah,
Brian Green was giving a class. Don Campbell was giving a class. Actually,
yeah.
Tony Basil took Fluky Luke's class.
And she was also taking Anna Sanchez classes. She was just next to us. We were like,
That's
whoa,
crazy, right?
that was crazy. Those people that you watch on video, but back in the days, video was not the same as now.
I
It
was
was,
actually I was super curious because I was wondering if you already recognize the style in the movies Breaking and Breaking 2, because Anna Sanchez does the dance in those videos and does do some kind of walking, and
of course.
Shabadu too. But me personally, I didn't recognize the style at all at the time. I had no
At
idea.
Yeah, but you know how the time people were doing point, wave and all that
Yeah, of
mixed
course.
all
Yeah,
together. So
yes,
it was the same with the whacking. So they were
sure.
mixing the style, but you could see some move and the energy that you have in it. But the point is that you couldn't make the difference when locking start and when the end
Right,
and when the whacking, you know.
right,
And even at that time it was punking, whacking. We still, it's still confusing about
right,
like how you call it, how who can pretend to do punking and all that. So that was really confusing. But the thing is that you were practicing some move that you learned from everyone, and then I took that class with Anna Lollipop Sanchez, and it's like you've been practicing for years something you don't know really about, you don't even know how it's called, and certainly, she do some move and she kind of validate this is a style, and it feels like a big thing. Like you discover that it's a real style that you're practicing on. You believe on something, but you don't know what it is, and then suddenly someone say, "Okay, this exists. This is a real
right.
dance," and
So
this is what happened.
from that point, from 2004, what happened in Europe? Because me personally, I remember seeing you guys, and it was super fun the way we met. It was after some event or some after party or whatever. I was with
Yeah,
Max, and Max is, and this guy is crazy. I arrived like a few days after him in LA, and he said, "Yeah, meet me at this spot or whatever." And I was waiting for him, and he arrives with a fucking um Cadillac Escalade,
I
which
remember that.
which is a car that you could see like in 50 Cent video clips and stuff, like a big luxury car. And so everybody was looking at us during the events because of the car. And so we stopped the car. We saw you guys. Actually, what we saw, it was a few girls walking with two guys. The two guys was Joseph Go and Fabrice,
Exactly.
and the girls, it was
Mika.
you, Aminata, right?
Aminata was there. Yep.
Aminata, and which was the girlfriend of Joseph Go at that time, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sandrine Sainte Croix.
Sandrine and Miss Halbouget from New York too.
Yeah, right. Yes.
And who else? There was some other people. Yeah.
And it was
And
super
yeah,
fun. Everybody
you
enter in the car. We have a room for everybody. The car was huge, and
we
then
were
we
into
we
the
stick
hype.
together all week. It was super
Yeah,
fun.
exactly. And it was funny because we were staying at the same hotel.
Right.
It was we were into the hype, and then you started to speak like a funny English with a French accent. I was like, okay, you French. So we started,
Right.
and then we were the people knowing where the party is. You had the car, we had no car. We were like five people, and you were two guys in the big cars. Like, okay, I was looking at the bags, like you have space enough for us all, and then we
Yeah.
just went in there, and then it was like crazy party the whole week.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
remember that event. It's one of the best. And right after we went into this party, well, where it was a big circle and people was trying to jump into it, it was like a crazy fight, and it was
Yeah,
just good.
actually, yeah, I remember one of the best day for me is when they did in some warehouse a funk fest. So downstairs it was a huge place for b-boying, and upstairs it was a small place for the funk styles, and
Yeah,
everybody was there. And that's when I met Pilok, and it was super fun. Also the way I met Pilok, because I already knew Frank Ejera from Brazil.
yeah,
So I saw him. He introduced me to some guys of his crew, and some of those guys. One of those guys came to me that day, and he said, "I need to introduce to you to some Portuguese dancer." I was like, "A Portuguese dancer in LA? What the fuck?" So he took me to that guy, like small guy like me. He was against the wall. uh, I don't know, the kind of guy that you look but you don't pay any attention. So a few months before that, his video against of him and Jimmy Soul against Gemini and Jeremy came out, and it was a huge buzz. So everybody knew Pilok without knowing who was exactly Pilok. So the friend of Frank Ejara told me, oh, so this guy is Portuguese. His name is Patrick. So Patrick is not a Portuguese name. When you say that you're Portuguese but your name is Patrick, it's already weird, because okay, it's not really a Portuguese, must be a guy from France or whatever. I was like, okay, nice to meet you. Do you dance? What style do you dance? Yeah, I dance locking. Okay, and his Portuguese was not good at all, so I was okay. Enjoy your stay. And in my mind, it was so much stuff going on in my bag, because it was like all the ABs, all the OGs were there. So I was like more interested in what was happening behind me than in him. So I really didn't pay attention to him. I spoke with him like 30 seconds and I was like, bye, take care. And suddenly I came back and I saw everybody going crazy in a cipher. And I was like, who the fuck is dancing? So I went there and I saw him dance. And kind of recognized the moves, and I was, this guy is killing. Fuck, I'm pretty sure I know this guy. So I stopped him during his round or whatever.
Yeah.
During his dance, I just stopped him and I was like, what the fuck is your name? And again, what's your dancer name? It's Pilok. I was like, shit, okay. Sorry. And then we became friends, but it was super funny.
This is funny how way like people cross each other and finally, after all those years got still together.
That's crazy.
That time I remember we were talking on Messenger with Pilar, because he was a friend, and I was into locking somehow, but from far away, and Jimmy too. I don't know. I was connected because that time I was living in Sweden, and he was together with a Swedish girl, and it was a love story, cross stories, and finally
Right.
at the end, 20 years after, we all together.
Yeah, right. That's
Frank,
crazy.
I met Frank before when I was working with Storm, but Storm was working with Frank. Frank came in France, so we met, and he did some video that he sent to Brazil, and then we met in LA. It's
Yeah.
it's just it's
Yeah,
just
that's crazy. Now that you're saying, a lot of strong friendships were built from those years, which is not the case right now. I mean, you meet a lot of people, but I didn't make like those kind of strong connections since then. Yeah, that's right.
yeah. Then now we I think we live in an age where connection in the dance are totally different. Back in the days, we just go to an event and we stay there. We really connect. We don't just come for, do a battle and go back home. We coming for the battle, for the parties, for just meet people, for exchange with
Yeah,
like old school people, and not just see their round or see their demo. We were really exchanging, trying to get knowledge, oral
right.
knowledge, try to understand their history. So try to understand why is they dancing like this. Try to understand what is their life. Try to understand their own culture. We also include and make that change be a certain way. We come from different continents. The Asian people dance in a different way than European, American, and all that. And this is what makes the difference. This is what makes you appreciate why people are dancing that way. Some people just, I don't like the way they dance. It's not about the way they dance. It's about all the what's behind the
Right.
dance.
Mm-hmm.
And also we make us appreciate the person as a person.
Yeah.
When I don't know, it's who told me like crazy stories. So many people told me like crazy story about that. I was dancing with those guy from Iran, and they've been telling you that they've been dancing in the street, and they went to jail for that. And you see the way they dance with their heart. You might perhaps not appreciate the way they have them move because it could be hard on you, but there is a reason for that.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a
And this is
story
what's
behind. Yeah,
important.
of course.
So I do like and appreciate hard dance. Yeah, it's exactly, it's a heart or dance is pretty much the same.
Right.
You need to educate yourself about like what's behind this heart to be able to appreciate it in the right way.
Right. So what happened after that?
After
So
that,
you
LA,
go back home, you dance with Lollipop, you met Tony Basil. Brian Green, you already knew, right?
yeah, we met at he was organizing the Houghton's conference, but he came to France like a couple of times, especially for one of the first Jeux debout, if I remember,
Mm.
with yeah, first or second with Marjo also was there. So he was already in France. We took like some classes, but he was also taking Anna Lollipop Sanchez classes. So when we went back to France, we started to practice. Actually, that time, Sandrine was practicing, and Sandrine Sainte Croix, but it was another Sandrine Dilkis who was also practicing, but she was living like far away from where I live, so we were not practicing together because you need to also know that 20 years ago, girls my age was not going out like the young people who do it now.
Right.
So you don't just go to a training like 30 kilometers away from your house. You don't just take the RER or subway like this. You know.
Yeah, RR is the
So
train for those
is
who don't know.
yeah, old train, and you were not going out like this because this is like old cool generation. So we're practicing on our own, eventually with the people we have around and the crew we have, and trying to get those information. So for a not a couple of years, like a lot of years, 4 or 5 years, we're practicing on our own the move that we have, trying to get some tape and not, going on the internet because it was too expensive that time.
Right.
And slowly we try to build what we could with the few information we had.
With nothing going on, no events, no nothing.
No battle, nothing.
Nothing.
So we were just practicing something that we don't even know how to call it. And back in the days, we were calling punking
Right.
and whacking I don't get into details because this is really confusing. And slowly, we started to give some few classes, you know, and and then that year I was also touring with Storm, and Bruce was also in the show, Bruce Ikanji, and he brought Anna Pop Sanchez.
To judge.
Yes,
To judge, yeah.
this is the time that he brought her as a locker, but as she was doing whacking, this is the time where she were mixing the locking and whacking, and in all the demo that she was
Yeah,
doing.
but let me wait. I don't remember which year it was exactly. Uh,
I think it was 2007 already.
yeah, because I was just trying to remember when exactly Sandrine won the Juste Debout in house with Mish.
Uh,
Because for me, actually, he was an important, even though he was in a house dance competition, he was an important moment for the European scene in Waaking because Sandrine was mixing a lot.
yeah, the thing is that like this time in start of 2000 it was still confusing, so she
Right.
she she came and then she was doing some house and included some walking in it.
Yeah.
The the point is that walking was not already named as walking,
No.
so people was singing to it like some femininity, and of course
Right.
she's
Exactly.
definitely
That's what people were saying. She's very feminine. She were not
and
saying she's doing some walking moves. They were, I like her because she's very
yeah,
feminine. Right.
and it was, I mean, for me, house and walking are related in a way that is a club dance. And back in the days, when people were like clubbing on disco, and then slowly we went into the, you know, the instrumental live music to, you know, how you say it, boîte à rythme. um I don't know I missed the word in English, where people are starting to make beats, and this is, like some of the classic funk music that we also call disco
Yeah.
are also some house music. So it's kind of a related. So people were in a club going and doing some house, but also it was still the end of the disco time, and people were into what they call that time, what we call whacking. So it got mixed a little bit.
Right.
Not mixed, but people were practicing both styles at the same time. And no one complained about it. Marjorie was also one of the women doing some house and putting in it some whacking, and it
Mm.
was really elegant. So, that time no one could name it. It was just Sandrine doing some house and putting like the whacking spirit into it in a nice way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
slowly, when Anna came fairly and just did that style, was giving a class, then this time people were like, okay, whacking is there.
Right. But then nothing. I mean, nothing event wise. Because
Nothing.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know then if in Paris you guys did something, but one of the first was a long time after that. It was years after that in Geneva, when Bembika did the unique style or something like
Yeah.
that, and he mixed voguing and walking. You could enter in walking,
Yeah.
voguing discipline, and it was like Brian
It was
Green was there, Tyron Proctor was there, and Tyron Proctor stopped everything. Like, okay, you guys just didn't understand yet. Walking is one thing, voguing is another. And
yeah.
but before that, I cannot remember another huge event with walking on it.
Actually, this event, as I remember, it's well, Lady Night did win that event,
I have no
and
idea.
she was doing working. This time, I think I don't even remember when we started. We had a crew together. It was like the point was to put together some girls practicing working on their own and put it together in the same room to just, try to exchange and to develop. Like in the French girl, in there it was Sandrine, it was Lady Night, it was Sandrine Vilkis, it was also Amélie Poulain. Who else did I miss? It was
Rose, you already
Liliane.
said.
Liliane, it was Rose. So it was, I probably missed some few, but
And
it was like,
that's when
yeah,
you girls did the gossip, right?
yeah,
Which
yeah,
was
that
the
was
the
gossip.
first French walking team or crew or whatever you wanna call it.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember another before that.
I don't remember either another one, but that was like back in the days. I don't even remember if it was 2011
Yeah, it
or,
was something like that because I was already in Switzerland, but I mean, walking was really going on already. I remember Lay. I remember also Alice
yeah,
Funk.
Liz Fong. Yeah,
I
she
mean,
was also doing some packing.
J1 from Portugal. I mean, when I came back from LA in 2004, I was J1 was my girlfriend, and she was locking a lot. She was super good in locking. And then because she was a girl, and for me, was locking for girls at that time, I said, "Yo, you must learn this style." And I gave her your contact. And after that, I remembered that very fast, because you people were just a few. She had also the contact of Angel.
Yes.
from
Yeah.
LA.
We're in contact with him too.
And
Yeah.
then I think I was the one who spoke with Kumari first, and I give her also the contact of Kumari.
Okay. Um, the thing is that like that time,
Wait. And I was saying that because I was talking about walking projects in Europe, and I remember that then J1, Liz Funk, and Lay, and Cynthia, and I think Gwen, they create a walking crew.
yeah.
Totally forgot the name. I'm gonna remember. And in 2008 or 9, they did a show in Portugal. What was the name of the crew? But it was locking and walking. It was not
Mhm.
strictly walking like the gossips.
Yeah. I do remember because I saw the video. But the thing is, it's about the history of like working in France. What we need to understand is that like the difficult part. It's hard to it was not so easy to be a woman in the dance world, to exist as a woman. The girl were already like doing the show, and then the thing is that it was good, and most of the women were doing some or hip hop or funk style, but they didn't. All the teacher they have were men, and walking was a dance that really um, reconciliate
Mm,
us with our femininity
right,
somehow, and that's why we started to, because it was really us. This is what we really are, and the people we used to see is it's Anna Lollipop and Marjorie. Pretty much the two women I saw there, and they were doing some walking, and I'm like, I wanted to dance like those women because they are women.
right.
Most of the time when we watching people dance, they are men, and I'm not a
Hmm.
man. Even if we were wearing baggies back in the days, we wanted to be more close to what we are. And slowly we started to do that. As I remember, we were practicing on our own for a long time, but a lot of women, it was hard to just be together, and everyone was doing his own thing.
Right,
Sandrine, I know, we were 2004. I went with Sandrine in LA, but we didn't practice because back in the days people was practicing in Châtelet, so outside in the street.
right,
And for a girl, it was not normal to be in the street. This is
right,
what we have to think. Unless you have a room to practice, a crew to be with, it didn't happen. Even if I were already giving workshop, you know, I was going to, like, it was 2007, the first time I was giving this workshop in Korea. I was giving a working workshop, but I didn't have any crew.
right.
I just have people that I know that we can exchange to or talk about it, but not studio, eventually practice sometimes. So the decision to have a crew together came a little bit later.
Mm. Which was dope actually, because it was like, okay, we're here and this shit is serious.
Yeah,
That's what I felt when I saw you girls, like, okay, like, dressed up, doing a real show from beginning till the end, only walking and shit. I was like, okay, this is serious now. But I was trying to remember some more moments, like some key moments, when it comes to walking history, but globally, not only Europe, actually. Just to go back to the project with Liz Funk, J1, I just met the name of Localoc from Italy. She was
yep,
also in that crew, and the crew, I think it was something like Terpsy Funk,
okay,
if I remember right. And then another huge moment for me, because I spoke about the moment when Sandrine went to the final. I mean, won the Juste Debout in house.
yep,
Another big moment was also in Juste Debout when Yoshie judged the Juste Debout, and in her
yeah,
showcase she did some moves, and it was fucking crazy. People
Yeah.
just didn't know what happened. Like she did some crazy like rituals, and it was like insane. I think it was super early. It was also in maybe 2004 or 5. I don't know.
I
It was
think,
only
yeah,
judged from Japan.
it was definitely early, and this time, Japanese culture have way more information about those styles, all the funk styles.
Right,
So they
because
were
they got
already
the copyrights of Soul Train, super,
exactly
yeah.
that we didn't have. It took
No,
us a long time before to be able
exactly.
to see those videos,
Yeah,
and they were already having like some old school dancer coming more often there in Japan than in Europe. Tony Gogo
right,
was there,
right.
was living there, and a lot of OGs were going to Japan, and then so they have access to more information, and they were teaching, way more because we didn't have much class, even locking in France, so it was hard for us.
Mm,
And when Yoshie came, that was like a real revolution because she came with this energy, this speed of execution, flexibility in the
yeah,
shoulder and all that. But the thing is
was
that
crazy.
we couldn't communicate,
Even
and this
now, it's
is
not easy.
yeah. But the thing is that what was nice that time is that the only um, way language we have was the
The
dance.
dance, right?
So it was kind of funny to exchange because she was dancing in a certain way, we were dancing in a certain way. She kind of appreciated, we appreciated it too. So it was like kind of funny because that was the only language we had, and it was also a huge opening time for Waaking because people were trying to understand what it is, because it was impressive the way she was doing it. So slowly, people started to get into what it is. I want to take classes, and slowly the community started to grow.
Right.
But it took a long, long time before it happened because assuming to just take a class, related to femininity, it's not so easy. People want to dance, they just don't want to get the attention. Uh, but that was not the point. That was just the dance for what it is, or discover yourself as a woman. And slowly, slowly, it grew up. But I don't know. It took perhaps way way too long, and those two judging time with Anna Lollipop and Yoshie
Yoshi, yeah.
was really bringing whacking because actually they were locking judge.
Right.
That's why we often associate it to locking.
Right, they were locking judge. But yeah, I was trying to remember some more moments like that that helped walking grow a little bit. I remember, I don't know exactly when I was speaking about Kumari before, but I don't remember where I saw her. Uh, what was the thing? I don't know. It was somewhere in internet. I don't know if it was a video or, but she lived in Europe for a while, right? She was
Oh
over
yeah,
here, right?
actually she as I remember, I met Kumari in France. She came for one of the Jeux debout,
Okay,
and Late Night was organizing a jam. It was also that time Whacking, Voguing jam, and
of
and
course.
also some. It was also some people from London, the practitioner,
Yeah.
coming, and I know she was going often in Denmark. I was I was following because before I used to live in Denmark,
Okay.
and actually it was in 2000. In 2000, I was teaching working there, and some generation of workers emerged from the Danish community.
Mm,
I know Eva Shu was also teaching working
right.
there, and she was connected to Kumari.
Right. Evashu was one of the big names back then, also in Europe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he was traveling around and teaching Waaking. So
Actually, the first jam where I play walking, it was Eva Shu that was judging. It was in Switzerland. I think it was stylist queen, and she was judging walking, and Marie Ninja was judging voguing.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, and they were super nice with me, and of course, because it was the beginning, they kind of, especially Marie Ninja, hold on to me because they were like, we have no either walking or voguing DJs right now. We need
Yeah,
people like interested in those styles. So it was cool. After that, the second one, it was at the rendezvous, and it was another story because it was like also some kind of revolution. At least for me, I went
yeah,
there to help Sandrine. I didn't know Rose and Lil Kiss yet, not personally. And then I don't know. It was the same thing that happened at Just Debout in Locking. I, it's just that when I do something, I try to do as best as I can, and and for me, it's never enough. So at the end of an event, I'm always like trying to understand what I could do better, and I was surprised to please like that. So I feel really like welcome by the walking community. It was really really nice.
you know those all those events, like, I mean, things happen for a reason. You know, I met you in 2004 and you were already like asking about working. You were already in 2004, perhaps five, thinking about bring some workers, and especially Ana Lollipop Sanchez in Europe.
Right,
You were also that time thinking about like how to m- make this community grow.
right.
So you were already into it.
Mm,
So it's really important that people like you already like sensitive about this style, where like playing music like this, because you do it in the right way.
mm,
You know, today you one of the whacking DJ in the place, and because you have the sensitive, you know, you sensitive to what make the music different.
mm,
You also make the music develop and get better, trying to bring some modernity in it without like respecting, you know, the original style.
mm.
And that is really important. Most of the time, people just take some pop music to just put it there because they're tired about funk music.
Right,
But you know, you need to respect, like you know, they do in in the popping. You know, you have
exactly.
the original song, but still the style is improving, and we need more people like you making, you know, the music go in the right direction,
Mm.
respecting still the original style, and this is important.
Yeah, we try. But then what happened with gossip?
Gossip, we actually we were all together and it didn't work out. Different timing, different way of living, different priorities, and it was also many girls putting together
Mm.
with different opinion, different way of seeing things. I did put all those girls together in the first instance just to practice, to get connected, and to grow if possible as a team. You know, a team is not just people getting together, you know, to make business. It's just people try to get to know each other
Mm.
and get to grow together. And if we stick together, then we will be a crew. So everyone was going different direction.
Right.
You walk for a couple of time, and then we just separate. Some other group get built after that. I think it was Opium, and slowly, you know, everyone was doing his business into the dance with the whacking, and you know, different one were. teaching, some were doing some other things, some went to the DJing, and it's a good thing. It's also it was a possibility to put everyone together and say, okay, Waaking exists, we have to do something with it. After that, for myself, I was living with the dance for 15 years. So I was touring, uh, doing some show in theaters, teaching, and also touring with different crews, mostly crew with men,
Right.
not with girls. And I was a girl, dancing like a girl, and I was also practicing the other style. I was practicing locking. I got my basic in popping, also basic in b-boying,
Right.
practicing some hip hop and house, and all that. People wanted to associate me to whacking most, but locking was my first love.
Mm.
And slowly I was just dancing. I was not really caring about the style itself. I just loved the whacking, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I want to share. I want to spread the word, but in a way, I didn't want to take charge of all what would happen. My goal was not to be the best. My goal was just to dance, enjoy my dance, and still be happy with dancing. So I've been dancing for 15 years, living only with the dance, and
What
and still dancing today.
what I think is really cool about you and about your story, because I was trying to remember all that of evolution here and what happened with you, is that you build all your name in a totally different way that people do nowadays. Like, people nowadays, they get none. People start to know their names because they win some kind of competition or that kind of stuff. You didn't want that many walking competition. You didn't compete that much in walking. You was just walking everywhere, in clubs, in events, and you made a name for yourself by, like, doing that. Jamming.
Dancing,
Just, yeah,
yeah,
jamming. You were jamming. You made a name for yourself, jamming, not competing, right? Which
yeah.
is kind of special nowadays because it doesn't happen that much anymore. People get it not noticed because they do competitions, right?
But back in the days, it was no whacking competition.
No, but even now,
So yeah,
you could have compete when they start happen. You could have compete, but you didn't that much. You were just
yeah.
and you got the respect and your name by dancing, by jamming all over.
Most of the time when I started to dance, I used to like to go to the clubs,
Right.
and there were cipher, and this is where we were like really dancing. So this is where I used to like and appreciate that. When battle came, it was not my thing because I didn't really appreciate the fact to go against someone. And sometimes you have people in front of you who are like really nice to you, but you could have people who have like just want to beat you. And it's
Yeah.
not something positive. And I didn't like this attitude. That's why
That
I,
format.
I was
Yeah.
I was not into battle. I
Yeah.
do appreciate to judge battle because I like to see the different dance. I
Yeah.
like to see what people have to give, and there's nothing aggressive against the judge. It's just about like giving all you have, and I'm taking that. I'm really like to take that and see the different influence, to see the new generation give some new move. And I don't know why, but this is the way I see the dance. The dance is just a dance. It's like I like to go to the club and arrive like there at 11, and then leave in the morning at 5 p.m. This is my challenge. This is what I like the best. This is the emotion I get. When you dance just 45 seconds, you go out of the circle and then you gone.
Right.
For me, this is not
That's
really
another
dancing.
thing. That's another thing that I see in you that is different. Is, well, whenever when I'm with you in a party, I see you dance all night long, and I don't see you make like rounds. like
Try.
1 minute rounds in a cipher and that's it. You're dancing. Or even a lot of times you are not in a cipher. You're just dancing all night. And I see people traveling. I mean, having difficulty in doing that, or it's not a natural thing for people to do that. They wait in a cipher their turn, they do their round, and they come out and they wait again to dance. And
You still have dancers doing that. You still have dance. I mean, my generation of dancer, when we used to go to the club, especially what was this club in Montparnasse, and we used to
wax.
go and no, 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 no. It was oh, I don't even
You said
remember.
Montparnasse, but I have no fucking idea where it is. I just remember
Yeah,
the wax.
we used to go with all the house dancer in the start, and we were just there dancing like all night long because we couldn't go home. But the point was to get into this mood that when your body get tired, it's just your mind taking over, and it's just it was like a kind of a drug. It's like you getting into a hype and you just enjoying yourself,
Right.
and it's a feeling that I'm still looking for. This is what I'm looking for. It's like people like drugs. I just like to dance and get into a mood that you smiling like a stupid ass and just like being like this all night and you just happy. Doesn't matter what happened after. You just full of like
You
good
know,
energy.
you know what I love is when we get in those type of vibes all night long, and the day after, people come to you and tell you, "Hey, you killed it last night," and you have no fucking idea of what you
Exactly.
did.
Exactly.
You
This
were
is it.
just like having
This is
fun,
a
and
win.
yeah,
This is definitely a win. This is what I really like about the dance. About this feeling also when you meet people, you jamming, and then you get into something. Sometimes when this time when you said, "Oh, that's my song," and you feel even like cry sometimes, and you dancing or sharing with someone, and this person just because you spend like 3 minutes dancing together will be your friend forever.
right,
And yes, this is the real thing. And those same people that we've been dancing like 25 years ago are still the people we're dancing with. And we'll still, a lot of people say, yeah, dance is family. It is. It is really family. The same people you've been dancing, you still dancing nowadays, and you still sometimes try to catch this strong feeling that put you together and that make you feel like really, I don't know. Dance is transcendental. It's something that, I don't know, make you, I don't know. I cannot express it, but this is the best feeling. Dancing, you don't have, you tired. Your body just want to go. You still have some crazy move that you don't usually do.
right,
And the feeling of it is something else.
right.
A lot of people like win battles. A lot of people are good dancer performing, but they still don't have this feeling.
No,
This is
that's true.
priceless.
Yeah, and then you have like all kind of people that, for example, Pillock is one of those guys who can do both, right? He just his dance just worked perfectly in battles, right? He's a dancer made for battles, right? He knows what to do, when to do it. For example, and then you have Jimmy, which is another type of dancers. When you see Jimmy dancing in ciphers during parties, just like a monster.
Oh, this guy's never tired. Even take it.
uh,
I took some of his class. I was like, okay, my body is out, but you still go.
yeah,
But yeah, but that's good. Yeah, those two guys like are really crazy in a different way. Pilak is really is hard on himself, but in a good way,
right,
and Jimmy too, but in a different way. But it's still about the love of the dance. It's still about like jamming. It's still
right.
about like dance and get crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to remember like other names, other moments, and I remembered that at some point in time where we didn't have any walking events, and most of the things that were happening on internet, and so some videos were coming out. And one of the names that I remember back then that had a huge impact, it was Danger Cat from
Oh,
Canada.
yeah, 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 right. She came to Europe, and she had some of the first video that we saw on the net.
Right.
So she came. I mean, I don't know if she was staying for a while, but she was coming forever and then teaching somehow. And that time people were more into oh, you're doing working, we have to meet. I'm
Right.
coming to France, we have to meet. So we were coming
Like a
together
small
and
family.
yeah, just having a little jam and then, spread out again. And this is how we meet people, but people stay in your heart in a way that you really exchange. She was really, for me, thinking the dance in a different way. She was already putting move all together and try to classify, and try to kind of not make a dictionary, but clarify what is whacking.
Right.
So that's why also she came and also, I don't know, we didn't have that time the culture of video online. That was
No.
really like more North of America and also Scandinavia, but France,
No.
girls,
You only made your trailer some years later. But I do remember those videos of Danger Cat, and she was killing it, and everybody was going crazy with her videos. And I was just trying to fucking remember where was the in the kind of site were those videos at. I have no
oh,
idea.
the first video I saw, actually, you were talking about the trailer. The trailer was not even my idea. It
It
was
was
just me,
Nyako, right? No.
yeah, me touring with Nyako, and then it was like just putting all that together. And one of the first video was on the net on YouTube was 2007 when I was in Korea, and I was just dancing. And then they have
Right,
this
I remember that
they
video.
used to we didn't used to have the phone filming, but
Hmm.
or the camera. They have the reflex to film. It was just a song, and I love that song, and I was just dancing. It's just a clip of a short time, and they were, they have the reflex, but I would not have done that myself. So slowly, the first video was me watching was from Korea. This because I saw a crew of people doing whacking, like a crew, a crew, and that was really funny because at this first workshop I was giving, one of the girl in this crew came to my class and showed me the video. And I was like, of course I know your video. I was watching it, and the point is just slowly, it took a little while before people started to make video. I know Bruno Marignan also was also teaching in France. He started to teach, so he started to do videos. And it's mostly because people were teaching that they were doing videos. They didn't have the reflex to just put themselves in front and say, okay, I'm going to do a video like we do now.
Right.
Back in the day, it was just, okay, I'm going to teach. I'll show you what I'm going to teach you. Then I do videos. That's why you can see videos of me on the net. And I just think that it wasn't French culture doing that.
Okay.
And it took us a long time. Unless it was a show, people were not doing that much videos.
No. So, who did inspire you? So you met Lollipop. You came back to Europe, start practicing. Did gossip? When does names like Tyrone Proctor, Archie, and all that start to appear and have an impact for you?
For me, I'm really, you really to know that I'm coming from a locking background.
Right.
So the inspiration was Lollipop, it was Shabadoo that I was watching in a video because it was more close to what I was thinking about whacking. For me, whacking was funk. Uh,
Right.
Voguing was something else. So I was not including it. So that was not my thing.
It makes sense. It makes a
I
lot of
was, I
sense.
was,
Sense actually.
I was into the bounce, the funk, that rhythm because the music
Hmm.
was funk. So I didn't met straight away Archie. I met Archie, but long time ago. The first time I was going to New York in a house club.
Mm.
So it was jamming, it was housing. But that time I didn't saw him do Waaking. And it's in 2012 when I went to New York for a show. I met Tyron Park. I was like, okay, it's one of the original. I have to meet him. So I went to meet him. We're sitting in a bench with some other girls from London, from Practitioner crew, and we exchanged about working. It was explaining a different thing, but it was a short trip. So we just had this afternoon talking, exchanging, and then I left. This is it. For the other person who influenced me in my practice, we met later with Archie with Waaking. I think it was in Sweden
Right.
when he
At what? Star,
was
a Sweet Star?
yes. But that time it was also giving a workshop, but it was Waaking and voguing all together. And I was definitely not into voguing.
Right.
Voguing is not my thing. Voguing is another culture for me. I do respect voguing. It's something is far from me, and so I was kind of confused because he was the OGs, and I wanted to understand where the voguing start and when the whacking start really, because for me, I was like, okay, I don't have enough knowledge
Right.
to clearly say when whacking start and when voguing start. Of course, there is some link between voguing and whacking related to the garbo style, and this is still not clear for me to explain it. We have information, but reported from different people. Those same people were reporting something different 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Right.
So I was pretty much influenced by everyone who came out with a good spirit. I'm not, you know, that time it was nothing. So I was influenced by the girls in France dancing, the people I was watching in Korea, people I was watching in Japan, you know, but mostly it was a French. I told you about Junior Almeida, who
Mm.
showed me also one of the first move. Storm showed me some of the move. We have Patrick Allen from London, but originally from LA, who showed me also some move. Skeeter Rabbit, who showed me like a lot of things, and we have some different exchange
Yeah.
uh, in Waaking. Rest in
Right.
peace.
A lot of people forget about Skeeter Rabbit. So when we speak about Skeeter Rabbit, is Skeeter Rabbit from the Electric Boogaloo, right?
Yes, yes.
And a lot of people forget about him when it comes to walking because he was doing some
It
walking
was
moves
it
and
was
and he
just
was dope.
amazing. I have one of my best exchange with him in Waaking when we met in LA, and one at the Jus de Bois, I don't know which year, when he was still in Coubertin. That was amazing because he saw all the videos. So he was like, shaking me in a way, and I was still dancing,
And
trying to
and
to
plus he
play.
was one of those ones who get down all night. I remember him
Yes,
at Just the Boot dancing all the time in all the ciphers because a lot of OGs speak about like yeah, you should clubbing and dance and that, but when it comes the
to
moment to do
club.
it they don't.
I don't definitely.
And Skeeter Rabbit was one of the few who was really getting down all the time. And yeah, it was dope seeing him. It was really dope. So it's kind of blurry for me because I was trying to remember if the street start was already happening when Baby Cat did the unique styles. But in my opinion, the unique styles had a huge import. It was a huge moment, and it really made a difference because of the fact that Tyron Proctor stopped the event to explain that definitely walking and voguing should be split when it come to events like that because they were not. They were mixed
Yeah,
up. They were mixed up in classes. They were mixed up in events. So I don't think you were there when it happened. But
no.
it was beautiful because he said that he tried again. He said, "Okay, let's try again. Let's split the styles and let's do it." So he split the dancers. Some of them were only competing in walking, the others in voguing, and they start battling again. And once they start moving, it was like they didn't get it. So he stopped
Yeah,
again and he did a showcase. And when he did a showcase, he turned his back to the crowd, and then suddenly he looked at the crowd, and I felt like the time stopped
yeah,
for it felt like an eternity, but it was maybe 30 seconds. I don't know. He just like bam, he catch an accent of the music, and I felt like the time stopped, and everybody was like shocked, like what is
I,
this? And he did his
I'll,
showcase. He killed it. He danced all the music. It was not like 1 minute or 2 minutes showcase. It was one music, all music, catching everything. It was fucking crazy. And then the event continued, and it was still a little bit blurry when it comes to what's walking and what's voguing. But then after that, I do feel that people made an effort to start being more like clear about it. And yeah, like I was saying, then when the rendezvous happened, it was pretty clear, and we start like seeing other names appear, like um, um, Josepha, Munya. It was the first event of Munya when I went. So when I went, it was the second rendezvous, and Munya was not. I don't think she competed in walking. She competed in the Soul Train line contest,
okay,
and
yeah,
she won. And I was like, "Fuck, who's that girl?" Because she was super young, but she had already a strong feeling. And yeah, I do feel that Le Rendezvous had also a strong impact. Then I
yeah.
think you judged the one when Rada came to France.
I know I judged the one with
It was nearby.
Yoshie and and who else? And Karu. Yoshi and Karu.
Oh, right. It was another
Yeah.
one. It was, I think, at the weather festival.
Yes, exactly.
At the weather festival, but it was another one nearby the Moulin Rouge, and that's when Rada came. And Rada was also for me a revelation in some kind of way, because she brought like a very strong style that I already kind of saw in Ariane. Ariane was already super strong, but fuck, the first time that I saw Rada was like, what is this? I felt that she was super strong and no one knew her. Uh,
Uh, yeah, yeah. Now
I mean, I
I
didn't
met
know her.
Rada.
I remember
Yeah.
speaking with her in internet because I asked her if she was coming to Le Rendezvous or whatever. The first one, she said I can't, and then she came to the other one, and but yeah, for me it was a very good surprise to see her dance.
For the rendezvous, I remember I didn't went to this rendezvous because I think I had a show. I was not able to come, but yeah, the rendezvous was like important rendezvous actually
Yeah,
for
Le
the Waaking.
Rendezvous and Street Star, obviously.
Yeah,
Street
and
Star
street
was
stuff.
super important when it comes to walking.
And but like the difference with the rendezvous and I mean more for the rendezvous I'm talking now, it was like the both category, and it was really separating voguing and whacking. It's
Right.
like you couldn't see the link between those two, but it was important to separate it. And just to talk about what Tyron did before in this event in
Yes.
Geneva, it
Yes.
was important. Those situations needs to happen to make things clear for everyone, and we have to go through that to make the dance clearer and stronger the same way. For regarding Rada, yeah, she was coming to Paris, but I think I met her before in Italy, judging another event in Waaking, and she was already strong. She always had this strong energy, and she already have a clear view about dance, what dance needs has to be. And it's also funny because it's still the this is what I like about dancers, that when I met Radha, English was not the language he was speaking that
No,
much. So the
right.
only
It
we
was
have was the
funny.
dance. So I
Yeah,
was
it was
giving,
funny.
so we were talking and we were dancing. And this is how, you create like strong relation with people, because you get to know their soul. They just give you what they have inside without word. I mean,
Mm.
some few still. But yeah, she's definitely a strong character, and I think she really kind of gave influence, a strong influence on the Italian style.
Right.
So you could recognize like Italy have a style, and she's one of the first one practicing, and also, you know teaching a lot of students to make them stronger, and make the community get bigger in Italy, and that is important.
Right. But I must say that before I met Radha, I saw Barbara in Switzerland in some kind of one-on-one event. Can't remember the name. I think he was maybe Nicole's event in Zurich.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can remember. I think Barbara went there, but still, it was like kind of blurry. It was those kind of events like walking and voguing. I don't know. I can't remember clearly if Barbara was only walking, but
I do
I'm pretty
remember.
sure that she was walking at some point.
I
I
remember that
didn't
event.
relate Barbara only to voguing. I do
She
remember
was,
seeing her walking before I met Radha actually.
but that was later. That was in
Really?
2000,
I think it
2000.
was before. I think personally I met Barbara first. I don't know who
Yeah,
started first. I don't know who
yeah.
was
I
doing
think I
what
think
in Italy. I have no idea what was
no. I,
happening.
I think I met Barbara before, because I think this event in Switzerland, I was there. I was judging
Yeah,
with
nothing
Javier.
but flavor or something. I'm not sure if
Yes,
it was not.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, this is nothing but flavor. You know that better. And I was judging with the Javier Ninja,
yeah,
and
but
she was
I
there. But
don't remember the year actually.
she's actually an elegant, like she's
Yeah,
just elegant the way she holds herself. She
yeah,
she don't even need to dance sometimes,
right.
and she had a strong character.
Yeah,
She was doing both. She was doing whacking and voguing,
yeah.
and she's still practicing both of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that like she was so elegant that we wanted to associate it in a certain style. I don't. She's still dancing. We saw her like a few years ago in um in Italy.
Yeah, the week she
We're
was
judging.
judging
Yeah,
also.
she
Yeah,
was
she
judging.
judged
So
the two walking contests, the two first walking contests in the week event. Yeah, and she still can get down. But yeah, I do remember Barbara in Switzerland, and I I remember seeing her dancing, and I was like, wait, that's another level. Compared to the other dancers that were competing, I think actually you were judging, right? You were judging
yeah, the
nothing but flavor.
in Biel, yeah, Biel, nothing but flavor.
Uh,
She's from, I think, as I remember, she's like some of the one of the first generation of whackers in Italy.
yeah. Well, Localoc was
Yeah,
working
she was there
already
before.
with
Yeah,
the project that I said before. Um,
Luckily, come like way before, because she was like,
and
oh,
there's another girl. She's a friend of mine, but I'm forgetting her name. At some point, she did it with Joseph Go too. What's her name?
oh yeah,
You remember
yeah.
her?
I,
She
I
was
see.
also in Geneva. Fuck.
I do remember I don't remember the
But
name either.
actually, to be honest, her she was truly the first that I met from Italy
Yeah.
doing
Okay. I see.
walking, and she
I
was
see.
already connected with the angel and all that before all the others. She was the first one, but fuck, I can't remember her name. So yeah, then I need to speak about something else that happened at the Street Star, right? So Street
Yeah.
Star was fucking huge when it comes to walking worldwide, right? So then I went to spin. I think it was the first time that I spin for walking at the Street Star, and it was my second year at the Street Star. Um, and um I saw Chrissy Shu and Maya Shu. They're sisters.
I don't think so.
Okay,
They're partner.
whatever. Okay, so I saw them. So a couple of years before that, I was already hanging out with Ariane, Arada, and everybody from
Yeah.
here. I knew the level. I knew we're kind of the best here and everything. And I can tell you, and I'm totally honest when I say that when I saw Chrissy Shu and Maya Shu dance, I was like, wait, there's a fucking problem in Europe. No one is practicing like they should. Because they had like clearly another fucking level. They were super, super clean. You can read every detail in their dance. And I was, it's my character. So I was kind of
Yeah.
pissed with my friends, right? Because like, you need to practice. And then I spoke with Ariane, I spoke with Rada. I was like, are you really practicing? And they were like, yeah, but we don't have that many time because we're teaching and all that, and we have shows and you have to take care of the others, so we don't have that many time for us, whatever.
No,
It was it was like my way to try to motivate them to get better. But for me personally, seeing Chrissy Shu and Maya Shu that year, it was fucking dope. They were really, really good, really, really good.
that was really really refreshing to see them dance, and I liked I liked it because it was another energy, another style, another, you know, sparkle, shine
Right.
in the Waaking world. And the thing is, we also have to consider that the culture is totally different. You know, just for you to understand is that I started to dance. I was 20 years old, right? So I was already a grown up. When I was younger, my parents were immigrants, so they came to France to work, and the 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 culture was like, you come here, you need to work, work, work. Dance and all that was part of my African culture, but it was
Right.
not something you go to do after work, or like something you go and train every day. That
Mhm.
was not. Asian culture is totally different. As I remember, the first time I went to Japan, I went to dance with some kids, and they were like something like 10 years old, and I was like, "How long you been dancing?" The little boy was just 10, just tell you that I've been dancing for 8 years. And it's like, I don't even have danced for 8 years, you know? So when it also the fact that you start younger that make you not stronger, but make dance more easy in your body in a way that you don't have to worry about like being the best. You just think when you're 5 years old and you dance, you just think about the dance, the feeling that it gives you.
Right.
And I realized that the Asian culture, people start to dance way younger. You see dancers dancing with their own kids doing the same show.
Yeah, yeah. Like
This,
already studying it. Not.
yeah, and it is not
Yeah.
happening here. I mean, it's brand new, like the new generation. Sometimes you see people dancing with their own kids, but it's so few of them. But
Yeah.
out there, it's like kind of natural. Everyone doing sport. Sport is also part of the culture.
Right.
Like,
I had a conversation with Yoshi about it because at some point I had to understand what was happening over there that was not here, that we were missing here in some way with the kids, actually, with the kids. So I asked her, like, please tell me what you people do with your kids, because they're fucking dope. They're doping hip hop, they're doping popping, they're doping locking. Tell me what's the secret. And she explained to me that they have like programs that
Hmm.
uh they have like the school. After school they go straight away
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
dance school. They do everything that they should do, like, I don't know how to say, how do you say in English, c'est les devoirs, how do
Yeah.
you
The
say,
homework.
the homework,
Homework.
the homework. They do it at the dance school. They do their homework
Hmm.
at the dance school. They take their classes, and late at night, the parents are coming pick them up,
Yeah.
and they go home. But they have like serious programs that take care of everything, and but in some way, she also explained to me that it's dope. They have a dope technique, but she had like a solid work to do when
Yeah.
it comes to feeling, like, for them to let it go and all that thing. But uh, just
They
to
also take a lot of classes. It means like here in France, when you take a, for example, when most of the time the kids start not locking, but when they start to dance, they take classes after school. They take it once a week
right.
because and it's not more. And slowly they build the feeling that they wanted to dance more. But it takes not before they get like, unless they have a strong feeling for it, and it's like okay, and the parents are open to let them dance as much as they want.
Hmm.
They started to dance, but it's only few of them.
Right.
In some countries we don't have the same situation. You could go and take classes like almost every night,
Right.
and this is not our culture. I didn't took a class. I didn't start sport before I was like 18, when I was able to pay myself
Me
the the
neither.
the, the, the
Actually,
class.
to tell you the truth,
Yeah.
my for example, I'm from a generation, and my brother, the character. My brother, it's against b-boying classes. For him, he doesn't understand the point. For him, b-boying is in the streets. If you were not dancing in the street, you're not a real b-boy. So in my life, I didn't take that many classes,
Yeah.
especially when I was younger. I mean, I took maybe my first class. I don't fucking know. I was already a grown up. But just to finish my point, um I saw all those people like uh, Danger Cat, Rada,
Eva Shu. Yeah.
um, Maya Shu, Chrissy Shu, but I was still. I need to be honest, like always, right? Uh, at some point, at first you're happy because you see everything growing. Finally,
Yeah.
walking events happening, and people having a higher level. I remember Ariane killing it at Le Rendezvous, also Josephine, and you're super happy. Um, but in my mind, I was kind of missing some flavor that is difficult to explain, that I saw in you and Sandrine in the early years of Waaking, in, let's say, our European story of it. Something more related with, like, more soul or whatever. And some kind of, what, in some way, you explain it, because for you were more into funk. You're already a locking dancer.
But also we are before to be a whacker, we dancer. We have, like back in the
Yeah,
days,
but
like probably you, we've been learning how our basic. Even if you don't, if today I'm not gonna try to enter any hip hop, state that I'm hip hop dancer, but like freestyle, house, popping, locking. b-boying. We try all the styles that make that's part of the culture,
Yeah.
and that makes us dancers. It's not, and we also like a clubbing generation. We
Right.
used to go to the club and dance at the club. So
But
we're not caring about like, this 45-second round
sure.
and put some tricks in it. We're not into that.
Yeah, but
And
even I mean I'm saying all that. First of all, I'm saying all that, but to be clear, it's just my opinion. It's what I like to see. It doesn't mean that is the correct version of it. I didn't see like, okay, they are cool. It's cool. There's like new people coming, more events. It's cool, but there's lacking something. Nothing was lacking. But for me, I missed some kind of style that I see in you and Sandrine, that it
they
speaks
have
more
it.
to me. This it speaks more to me. And then I saw some uh, kind of similar flavor appear with people like Munya, with people like Mariana right now. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah. Those Munya, but like this is Munya is a club dancer. She's a club dancer. When she was 15, she was in a club with Liliane. I mean, in the same club where I was, she was there. She was younger, but she was there. She, as I know, she will let me know if I'm wrong. She learned popping, locking, house, hip hop. So she know all the styles, what makes hip hop, what makes the culture be. She was also in the same club where we used to go to the June. I think she was 15 years old. She was at the club with us. And I remember Liane was like, hey, 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 step away. She's young. But she was dancing in the club. And also, you know, it's also those people that you naming is also those people when when you when I saw them in the club, they dance in a different way. When you jam with them, when we get like crazy and you party, it's not the same people because when you go in a battle, people dance, they're in a battle mode.
Right.
When they start to get free and then like, okay, we happy, we're just enjoying ourselves, then it's a different dance coming. But they just need to play with it. And I don't have this battle mode. Some know how to play. Like you talking about Munya, you talking about Mayana. They know how to play this extra thing that they have in the battle mode.
Right.
So it's also about like enjoying your dance and know how to control your dance some ways that sometimes I can't even tell you how it works.
Right. And
And
just
also it
yeah.
could also be that they're being related or told by people that also have this funkness into them.
So yeah, and I was saying, so my last surprise was Sam 2. I have no
Oh yeah.
idea where I saw Sam 2 first, but the thing that really surprised me is her maturity, because I didn't know her. I didn't saw her anywhere in any events, and suddenly I
Yeah.
see someone that I never saw before with a fucking maturity in her dance, with crazy skills, crazy soul, crazy flavor, and I was like, who the fuck was she? Like she
Yeah. This I
explained to
mean,
me, like I was like,
I don't even remember when I saw that woman first. That was like a real woman. And yeah, she came with this strong energy and this strength in her body when she was and this funk. And of course, sometimes people get connected with the people who got the same flavor. And yeah, she's I like the character because you can see in her dance her personality. You could see the nice character, the strength, the education. She's a strong character and also someone determined, but also someone who could be fun. This is what also I like about the dance. Like all those strong character, you can see who they are somehow. The main part of their personality.
right.
But yeah, she came. I don't remember when is the first time I met her, but I was like It might have been in that's not so long ago. It was like a couple of years,
Yeah,
couple of
for
years
me it was maybe 2 years ago at max.
at Sergi. I was judging an event and then she was dancing. She came with this funkiness. I was like, I was even thinking that she was doing locking before.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. She's I mean, we've been talking a little bit, and I like to know who they are. But she
Yeah.
been dancing. She's been learning like all the styles. So she's a dancer, and then after she's a whacker.
Yeah, it's
So to make a stronger whackers. When you have influence of different dances into your style.
right. Yeah. I was like really amazed. Yeah, I don't even know. I just saw some footage. I don't know if it was a battle or something. I was just wondering who's she. Like I was
No,
not even sure if she was from France. So I was, for me, she was just like, I don't know. She was too good to be new.
this is what I like about working is that like is a lot your personality is part of your dance. You can just be who you want to be. You have the move, you have your technique, you have all your funk, but you have your personality that you know it's a strong part of your dance, and it work with. If you don't have personality, it doesn't work. It could be the like it could be a dark personality, it could be like a happy smiling, you know it always work.
Right.
And this is really one of the party special thing into walking. We have a lot of like strong character everywhere. In Europe, you have just Junidry that I met like not long ago. You have in France, you have the Sam to Mariana, um, Munia. You have also those uh, people from London like Baxi, which is a strong character. You have
Yeah,
people in
right. And
Italy,
we
you
need to
know.
speak about him because actually, uh, don't remember also when was the first time that I saw him, but actually he was one of the first males, and he was like I if I remember right, he was with another guy. It was a 2-on-2, a walking 2-on-2 that I saw. Can remember the event, and it was
Yeah.
two guys walking. And I remember that I was speaking with Sandrine. She was saying, "Oh, they're fresh, they're dope, na 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 na." And yeah, he's been representing a lot. He's dope also.
Actually, the first time I saw him, it was in Italy. It was in Italy. He came for the whacking, but he was entering the locking. He was also entering the house. I was like, okay, okay, he's definitely a dancer. He was entering like most of the categories, so he was already amazing. It's like, okay, locking house. I think I'm not sure he was doing the hip hop, but I was like, okay, that's a complete dancer.
Hmm.
And he came also with the suit and all the character. There is not much guy dancing whacking,
No,
and it's quite inspiring too.
right? Yeah, he's dope. He's dope, and he's always giving props to
Yeah,
everybody. He's very respectful. Yeah. So now,
that's yeah,
how do you see the
fresh.
evolution of all this? What,
I,
what,
I think
actually, let me ask you this: if you had magic powers, what would you change in the past, and what will you do now to make it better?
there is nothing that we have to change in the past. The past is the past, and now even if people don't see it, what been happening in the past, make things the good and bad thing that happened in the past, what makes what whacking is.
True.
That what makes me enjoy, the battle. When I go to the battle, sometimes I'm like, there is you still have this feeling that the new generation don't respect what was there before, but you still see that it being improving, and sometimes there is some misunderstanding, but in the same way we have to go through those misunderstandings to still make the dance evaluate and improve all the time. You as soon as you still feel good going out of a walking event, this is the most important. It can only be good staff. You need to have bad staff to make it better.
Right.
So it's a matter of time. We need to be patient. We need to be understanding, and we need to accept also the evolution of the dance. Sometimes you go in some direction you don't really like, but you have to go different direction to get better. And also sometimes people get back to the basic, and this is how it is. And I'm just happy that working is still there. I'm still happy that I can still go in about it and enjoy. And sometimes you still have few people with few move or love techniques that you appreciate. This is for me the most important. I just hope that people will still continue to whack, dance, document it, and then try to understand what makes whacking. You know, of course there is a technique. Of course, event put people together, but there is still the clubbing. I hope we'll get back to the clubbing, so people will really appreciate the music and not just like train on the music, learn it by heart, but
Right.
just try to understand what people are saying into that, what was the struggle behind, and that's it.
Right. So thank you for your time. It was
Thank you.
dope. I feel that there is a lot more to say, but we'll need to do another episode.
Yeah, let's
No,
make another one.
yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.